parents.
Hi. നമുക്ക് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം.
സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം മാം.
ഓക്കെ, എല്ലാവർക്കും ഹാപ്പി ഈവനിങ്. പോസിറ്റീവ് കമ്മ്യൂണിന്റെ 563ാമത് SBC ആണ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത്. ഹോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് thriprayar ചാപ്റ്റർ. ഇന്നത്തെ നമ്മുടെ ട്രെയിനർ പ്രൊഫസർ നർമല പരമേശ്വരം മാം നമുക്ക് ഇമോഷൻ എന്ന വിഷയവുമായിട്ട് വരുന്നു. ഇന്നത്തെ PD ഹനീഫ് മാമിനെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു.
താങ്ക് യു.
Thank you, Sarda ma'am. Thank you so much. And a very pleasant evening to one and all. Nirmala ma'am, very happy to see you again.
Happy to see you too.
Okay, you look gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Just you're gorgeous too.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് തുടങ്ങിയാലോ? ഓക്കെ, മാമിനെ കുറിച്ച് പറയണം എന്ന് എനിക്ക് ഉണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു തുടങ്ങി കഴിഞ്ഞാല് പിന്നെ മാമിന് വേറൊരു സെഷൻ തരേണ്ടി വരും. ഞാൻ ആക്ച്വലി 2, 3, 4 സെന്റൻസിൽ അവസാനിപ്പിക്കാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുകയാണ് മാം. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും പോയിന്റ്സ് വിട്ടു പോയിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പ്ലീസ് ഡു ഫോർഗിവ് മീ.
പേര് മാത്രം പറഞ്ഞാലും മതി.
അല്ല, ബട്ട് വി ടേക്ക് ഇറ്റ് ആസ് അവർ പ്രിവിലേജ്.
ഓക്കെ.
ശരിക്കും മാമിനെ ഇപ്പൊ രാവിലെ ജസ്റ്റ് മാം വിളിച്ചപ്പോഴാണ് പറഞ്ഞത് JCIയുടെ എക്കോണിക് ട്രെയിനർ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു പദവിയിലേക്ക് മാം നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ് എന്നുള്ളത്. ഏകദേശം 500ഓളം പേരിൽ നിന്ന് തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കുന്ന 100 പേരിൽ അവസാന റൗണ്ടിൽ മാം എത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളത് പ്രത്യേകിച്ചും തൃപ്രയാറിന്റെ അഭിമാനം. അത് ഞങ്ങൾ തൃപ്രയാർ ചാപ്റ്ററിന് വലിയ അഭിമാനം തരുന്നൊരു കാര്യമാണ്. സോ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഓൾ കൺഗ്രാറ്റുലേഷൻസ് ഫോർ ദാറ്റ് മാം.
Thank you.
And all the best wishes for your victory, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, മാമിനെ കുറിച്ച് ഞാൻ വളരെ ലളിതമായിട്ട് ഒരു 5-6 സെന്റൻസ് പറയാം കേട്ടോ. And we are all of us are very eagerly waiting for your training session, ma'am. So വെറുതെ പ്രൊഫൈലിലേക്ക് ഒന്ന് ഓടിക്കേറാണ് ഞാൻ. ഓക്കെ മാം. സോ നിർമ്മല മാം തൃപ്രയാറിന്റെ മുത്ത് എന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ പറയാം. And she's a postgraduate in microbiology by research from Grand Medical College, Mumbai. And she also has a master's in psychology and business administration. Pulile. And certified in communication skills from Trinity College, London. Now doing her 2nd year of law. Adana enke ഏറ്റവും ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടത്. ഒരു മേഖലയും വിടരുത് ട്ടോ. And certified national and international trainer of JCI India. JCI ഇന്ത്യയിലാണ് ഇപ്പൊ iconic trainer എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പദവിയിലേക്ക് നടക്കുന്നത്. And we are eagerly waiting for that proud moment, Tripura chapter especially. And she's the retired professor from Holy Grace Engineering and MBA College. And she has her own training institute, namely NIMS at Walapad. And she has more than 1,000 trainings under her belt. And she is the winner of Ravi Puraskar Award for Excellence in Training of JCI India. Had the good fortune to represent India at the UN in 2014. That's great, right? To speak on elevation of poverty at the global level. And she also had the opportunity to conduct a training for 90 minutes to 48 veteran trainers from around the globe at Canada in 2016. Amazing. And her topics are communicative skills, building a foundation. And she's the past president of JCI Tripurayar zone. എന്താ മാം അത് വായിക്കാം? 20 എന്നല്ലേ വായിക്കണ്ടേ? 20 at 2019 and was the zone ambassador of zone 20 for the prayers creating awareness of the menstrual hygiene and women's health. That's great, ma'am. I really love that. And nominated as one of the maiden national directors of JCI Senior Member Association Zone 20 for the year 2021 to 2022. And this is none other than our JCA Senator, Professor Nirmala, national trainer and author. And with all due respect and proud, we, Positive Commune, Prepare Chapter, welcome you to the DISE, ma'am. Now the DISE is all yours. All the best, ma'am. Just rock.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much, Salima, for that beautiful introduction. I really was amazed. I was wondering whether you were talking about me. Okay. So without much ado, I will get into the topic for lack of time. Now, see, till very recently, employers were looking for high intelligence. That means if you had a high intelligence quotient or you're intelligent, you landed up a lucrative job. But no more. Now people are looking for emotional quotient. So what is emotional quotient? How you can get along with your peers, how you can work under high stress and pressure, whether you will give vent to your emotions at the drop of a hat, etc., etc. So today I have for you a beautiful and very powerful presentation, namely emotions, the expression matters. Now, this is a very powerful topic because before we get into the topic, can anyone tell me what is emotion? Unmute and tell me. What is emotion?
A personal energy.
It's a personal energy. Okay. Anything else? Go back to your school days. Go back
It is
to
our reaction to an incident.
All right. Okay. So for lack of time, I'll come to the point. See, all feelings, emotions, the reactions, all that is correct. But go back to your school days, what your grammar teacher told you. Emotion is only an abstract noun. Something that you cannot see or feel. You have to see or touch. You have to see it, feel it in the inner core of your being. So, yeah, it is energy in motion. Thank you for that. But still, it is an abstract noun which you cannot see or touch. Helen Keller, the famous personality, she, poor thing, lost her sense of sight and hearing and speech at a very tender age. And she has mentioned in one of her books that this is the most beautiful and best things in this world cannot be seen or touched, but it has to be felt in the inner core of our being. And this emotion is something which God has given all living creatures, whether it be plant, animal, and each one expresses it in their own unique and beautiful manners in various strengths. But it is man who can express it beautifully in a more prominent way. Now, see, we have about 43 muscles on our face with which we can emote over 10,000 emotions. But naturally, we are not going to go through all that. But when I say expression of emotions, it does not mean only the facial muscles. It means the entire body language. Like you scratch your head when you're caught red-handed in something, or you bite your nails when you're nervous, or you wring your hands when you've forgotten something, or even when you're in love, you draw circles on the ground with your big toe. Agreed? If it's agreed, reactions. I want hands up on the reaction chapter with this thing. No need to unmute. Okay. So now, emotions and their expressions are found in all art forms all over the world. But here I'm going to talk about emotions expressed in the dance art form. In the Indian culture, we have got Natya Shastras that talk about Navarasas. What is Navarasas? They are 9 emotions expressed, 9 major emotions. But I'm going to bring you to Kerala's art form, the non-verbal communication called Kathakali, where the artist with his elaborate makeup expresses these emotions, 9 emotions, so beautifully. He doesn't need words to describe what he's enacting on the stage to enthrall the entire audience. So are you ready to come to Kerala to see this particular artist? So first on my list, I have Sringara, armor, love, the antidote for all maladies. You talk about a little child who's fallen down, bruised his knee, blood is there, hurt is there. He calls out to his mother. Mother comes running and she kisses that wound, and then he's off to play. The bruise is still there, the hurt is still there, the blood is still there, but he doesn't know it. It's such a beautiful thing, this love. We all have experienced it. Just look at that artist. See that beautiful love in his eyes, that mischievousness in his eyes, and that little love on his lips. This probably artist is enacting Lord Krishna, calling out to his beloved Radha. You come here, my dear, let me hug you. And that will create a flutter in Radha's heart, and she'll go running to him. So that is what is called love, armor. Then I have Hasyam for you. Ha! You're with a group of friends and they've created a comic strip and he's cracked a joke. That is a good one. I haven't heard that before. It's Hasyam for you. The eyes have opened up wide and he's got that smile on his lips. The same artist, same eyes and nose and lips and all, but see the difference between love and see the difference in Hasyam. He's showing that he's enjoyed the joke. Then we have Karunyam, pity. Your humane nature has been evoked when you see a poor kitten in the rain, malnourished with no mother around. Look at the eyes, it's closed up and there's a little sadness on his lips. He's got all that pittiness in him. He goes and picks up that kitten. He sort of pats it dry and he takes it home. He gives it a sauce of warm milk. And when the kitten is well fed and dry, how does it act? It starts purring and rubbing itself on your trousers. And what does it do to you? It gives you so much of happiness. If you get so much of happiness by serving a small, dumb creature, how much more happiness will you get when you serve humanity? Service to humanity is the best work of life. So Karunyam is one emotion we have to develop because empathy is slowly dying out in society with all the virtual media coming in. Next, we have Roudram, furious, anger. This is a very powerful but bad emotion. I mean, you need it at times, but you have to rein it in. Look at him. His eyeballs are literally popping out of his eyes. He's all bloodshot. When you're really angry, blood gushes to your cheeks and your breathing becomes difficult. You can't speak. Maybe it will cause you a heart attack or a stroke. So this is one emotion you have to be careful with. I remember I had a next door neighbor, a lady with two boys, one 8-year-old and one 4-year-old. One day when she went out to the grocery for half an hour, leaving strict instructions that the children should not get into trouble, she came back after half an hour and you see the elder boy goes running to his mother and says, Mommy, knew what happened? When you were away, little Johnny took his crayons and started scribbling on your newly painted walls. The mother was furious, angry. She stomped in the house. She put her shopping bags down and she called out, Johnny. And the poor boy was shivering behind some clothes. She caught him by the ear and brought him in front, probably gave him a couple of slaps, and then started ranting and raving about the amount of expense she had incurred to paint the walls. When she was exhausted, she went inside to check the damage. And what she saw shocked her, because there on the wall was a beautiful heart and a 4-year-old handwriting, I love you, Mom, Dad. She was heartbroken. What had she done? Walls can be painted again. But how was she to repair the damage caused to the 4-year-old boy? The trauma she caused to that 4-year-old little boy. That is why we cannot repent if we speak out in anger or if we function in anger. So our sages have told us, count till 10 before you open your mouth to speak, right? So anger is one you should control. Viram, heroic. Home comes the warrior, victorious from the battle. He's vanquished the enemy. He's killed the demon. Look at his face. He's so proud. His head is held high. His eyes are big because he wants to see how many people are applauding him and appreciating him because he's come home successful. Probably he's got scars to show that he's been in battle, but he's alive, ready to take the appreciation of all his people and his family. Look at the smile on his lips. The same lips, but see the difference he's made in his lips, right from love, anger, karunyam, hasyam, all has been different. Now this is Viram for you. Proud, heroic warrior. Bhayanakam, terrible. You see, you're on the road, you see a head-on collision. It's Bhayanakam. You can do nothing. That scooter with the little teenage boy is under that bus. Oh, it's Bhayanakam for you. Look at his eyes. The eyeballs have gone down and he's doing that because he's helpless. He cannot do anything. There's a little sign of pity, karunyam on his lips. There's a little sadness on his lips also. But that Bhayanak, oh my God, what am I seeing? This is terrible. I cannot take it. You know, that sort of a Bhayanakam expression. Now, I can tell you, it takes decades for an artist to master these facial expressions. And it takes hours for him to get that natural makeup on. It's all natural. Nothing is organic. You have to salute these Kathakali artists. Bibhatsam, odious. You don't like it. It's a smelly rat that is there in front of your door. You ask the gardener or the security to take it away. But meanwhile, see the wrinkled up nose, the squinted up eyes, the loose lower lip, the pulled up upper lips. It's Bibhatsam for you. Horrible, horrible. We don't want it. Okay? Adbhutham. Adbhutham is surprise, wonder. Now here you see the eyebrows have gone up. The eyes have been opened wide. The pupils are dilated and the nostrils are open. The lips are either pulled straight or the lips will be hanging open for you. Because why do you want the lips hanging open? Because it's surprise for you. Now, the surprise emotion lasts only for a second or two. But it is the reaction, the expression that remains for a longer time, especially the raised eyebrows. The eyes are widened because he wants to see what so many people appreciating me. Wow, so many people clapping for me. That's why the pupils are dilated so that more light enters. But supposing the surprise is bad, like somebody has jumped on you in a dark alley, then again the reaction is the same, the expression is the same. You want to see, where is your escape route? I can't overpower my opponent, so I must run away from here. Your nostrils are open wide to intake oxygen because you need the strength to go away from that particular place. So that is Adbhutham, or surprise for you. Santam, tranquility, peace with yourself, peace with the world. Westerners are coming to India to learn this, to be at peace with ourselves, to be in that state of mind where nothing affects you. No joy affects you, no sadness affects you, no anger affects you, no, nothing affects you. You're just at peace, a beautiful state of mind to be in. Look at the eyes of this particular artist. His eyeballs have gone into the upper eyelids as though he's in a trance. You know, a long stupor sort of thing. When we do yoga or meditation, we have got the last one called Shavasana, where we are asked to lie down relaxed. The hands don't touch our body, the legs don't touch each other. And you're supposed to be totally calm in your mind. We may go to sleep at that time, though we are not supposed to, but we go into this sort of a trance-like position. Now, I've taken you through the 9 stages of emotions that is seen in the Natya Shastras as Navarasas. I've quickly gone through it. Now I will be doing 7 slides with emotions that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. The entire message in my presentation is how you can handle emotions to your advantage so that you can become a better individual, a better citizen, and thus create a better world. So that is the underlying thing in my presentation. So now the 7 emotions which I'm going to show you will be the emotions we deal on a day-to-day basis, and you have to listen to me how we can handle it in a proper manner. The first on my list is anger. I want all the videos on, please. Please, everyone, open your videos. Hello, am I audible? Yeah, everyone, open your videos, please. Yeah, I want you all to mimic anger for me. We have seen anger here. Come on, all of you, just try and mimic that. This is anger for you. I want each emotion be mimicked by all of you, okay? Yeah, very good. So this is anger for you. Now, what do you find in anger? You find the eyebrows are pulled down, and then you find the upper eyelids are pulled up, and you have the margins of the lips rolled in, lips are tightened, and the person pulls himself to full height. Go back to your school days. When you have done something, you have been up to some mischief in school and you thought no one knew about it, but your mother got wind of it. You can bluff the whole world, but not your mother. So when you come home, you find her standing there at the door with her hands across her chest like this, or probably her fists folded and on her hips. And she's got herself up tight. Lips are pulled up. And she's looking down at you. It's not the posture she's got, but the expression on her face that is sending shivers down your pants, you know? And she's looking at you with like, hey, Johnny, come on, own up. You've got me to deal with. Yeah. So that angry face shows the opposite party that the conflict has begun, or it's a threat for the opposite party. But like I said, this is one emotion that we have to rein in. We can't keep it too long with us because it is negative and it will cause problems. It will cause a lot of problems for us. Okay. Next, I have fear. Come on, all of you all open your videos and show me fear. Yeah. How do you show fear? Bhayanakam, what I showed you. Open your videos. Come on, interact. Fear. How will you show fear? Yeah, Radha is the only one who's opened a video. How will you show fear? Okay, here is fear for you. Oh my God. The eyebrows have gone up. The eyes have opened. The pupils are dilated. Mouth is opened or stretched. And nostrils are wide. Because fear capitalizes on how our body works. It instigates 2 reactions. One is fight and the other is flight. You know, when we are afraid of something, when suddenly you're afraid, you go that way. Can I overpower that opponent? Can I overpower him? And when I say I can't overpower that opponent, then I look for my routes to escape. Just like wonder, you know, your eyes are open, but here you're heart is beating very badly. You're scared. So fight or flight are two emotions that fear brings into you. And for that, God has given us this expression, which no one has to teach us. It comes automatically. Okay. Next, we have disgust, Bibhatsam that I showed you. Oh, the wrinkled up nose, the squinted eyes, the excuse me, the eyes squinted, the nose wrinkled in, the eyebrows pulled down, and the upper lids pulled up, and the lower lip is loose. You know why we wrinkle up the nose? Because God has given us in his wisdom, because he doesn't want the noxious fumes or the horrible odor going up. Host, if you could mute everyone, it would be nice. Host, I would like you to kindly mute everybody, please. Okay. So in this disgust, it prevents the noxious fumes and odors from going up our nasal passages. Okay. And the eyes also are squinted because we don't see. Okay. So it causes, it's protecting us from getting those noxious fumes and odor into our face. Okay. So this is a very good expression of emotion which God has given us, which will help us protect our body. Next we have on our list is sadness. Sadness. Look at that face, full of sadness. You know, if I tell you sadness is one emotion which is very difficult to mimic, because the rise of the inner eyebrows cannot be done by when somebody is asked to do it. When you're sad, your head is always lowered, your breathing becomes very slow, and there's an occasional sigh. Okay? And if it is intense, there's a bit of quivering on the lips. If you really want to see sadness, see a little child who has lost his little pup, whose little pet dog is dead. He'll be holding it in his hand. My Rocky is no more. He'll just cry. It will go into a ball. You know, a very difficult emotion to keep inside. And if you keep this sadness inside for long, it is going to create negative energy inside your body. So we don't need sadness to be in this, because see, we are all living in Maya. We are not going to live here for 200 years. We are here today, gone tomorrow. So why be sad? Why be all that happy? Because just be neutral. So how our sages have given us a way to come out of this state of mind. When you're sad, raise your head. You can never be sad with a raised head. Pat yourself on your shoulder and say, this also will pass. And start breathing in a different pattern, not in a slow pattern. You know, when you breathe in a different way, this particular emotion will escape and you will go into another frame of mind, which will be a different state of mind, which is different from sadness. So sadness can be removed and you can come into a beautiful state of mind. That is your happy state of mind. So sadness with all the sighs and the quivering of the lips and the lowering of the lips. No, we don't want that. Okay? Next, we have surprise. Surprise on the list, like I told you, eyebrows are pulled up completely. The eyelids are also pulled up. Pupils are dilated. Eyes are widened and pupils are dilated. And mouth hangs open. Either the mouth hangs open or it is stretched, depending upon the surprise. Now, like I told you, the surprise may last only for 1 or 2 minutes, or 1 or 2 seconds, but the expression lasts longer, especially the raised eyebrows. So these emotions that come to us, we can, the emotions go, but our memories remain. When the memories remain and we call back those memories, these particular feelings come back. When the feelings come back, our expression of emotions come back. So we should always be in a good state of mind, so we have happy memories for us. Okay. Next is contempt, Bibhatsam. Not odious, but contempt. This happens only when you have a very high ego. This is one emotion where the eyes remain neutral, but the lips go to one side. This emotion can be mistaken for disgust, but it is not disgust, it is contempt. And you have the lip corner is pulled up and back to one side. The eyebrows and all may go up a little bit, but the lowering of the lips to one side is one thing in this that is very unique. Imagine you are in the office and you have been working hard with your files, okay? And you put your best work into it. In the evening, you take the papers to your boss and say, "Sir, I finished." He looks at the papers, he looks at you, he looks at the papers, he looks at you, and is this what I get from you? Go. Sheer contempt. For one moment, he has not considered how much effort the employee has put into it. This is one emotion we should not have. We are not perfect. No matter what our degrees, what our achievements, what our position, what our wealth, what our position, nothing matters in this world. When we are gone 6 feet down, nothing matters. And we are not perfect. We can learn from every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Then why should we have contempt in us? Why should we look down on somebody else? This is one emotion we should remove from our system. You should always appreciate someone in public and criticize them in private. That is the way you will get the confidence of your employees or the people you work with. Because people don't remember what you gave them or what you fed them. They will remember how you made them feel. Even if an employee does something wrong, tap him on the shoulder. That's okay. You can do better next time. That is the way you got to get it. The last one, happiness. That's the best emotion God has given us. In this, you can either be smiling or laughing out, ha ha ha, laughing out loud. Here the muscles near the eyes crinkle to form crow feet, and your lips and your cheekbones rise up. And like anger, your blood rushes to your face, but not like anger, it is blushing. Your cheeks become red when you're really happy. Go back to your teenage life. Imagine you're a teenage boy in love and you have a sweetheart, both of you on the dance floor. There are many people on the dance floor, but for the two of you, nobody exists. Just the two of you on the dance floor. You're looking deep into each other's eyes. You've held a hand in yours, a squeeze of a hand, a brush on her lips. And that electricity fills you. You're filled with love, happiness. You're glowing. Imagine at the end of the day, dance and everything, you're dropping her up at home. And then you're walking home. Because you're a teenage boy, you still don't have a vehicle of your own. You're walking home. And what happens when you're walking home? How do you walk home? Do you think you're walking home? You're skipping home. You're so happy. You're in love. You proposed and she's agreed to marry you. So you're so happy. You're kicking a stone on the way. You're singing to yourself. You're laughing to yourself. You're talking to yourself. Maybe you see a stranger on the road and say, "Hi, good evening, sir. How are you?" Which you may not have done before. So that is what happiness does for you. You know, when you smile at someone and that person responds with a smile, dopamine or the happiness hormone within you is stimulated and you're all aglow. So why don't all of you just smile at me now? I want all your smiles. Yes? Lovely, lovely. Give me a hearty laugh. Okay, you can laugh it out loud because it's a lovely emotion that you can be with. I'll just like to stop sharing screen with you and tell you a little thing. Now, when a baby is born, nobody has to teach him to cry to get the attention of his mother or his caretaker to change his diaper. As he grows up, it probably becomes tantrums and a disciplined parent will discipline him. But we as adults, we tend to fake our emotions. You know, sometimes you hate your boss. You want to punch him in the nose and gouge out his eyes. But when you see him, you say, "Good morning, sir. How are you? Yeah, I'm happy for you. I'm praying for your family." Utter faking of emotions. But no matter how you fake your emotions, there are some muscles in our body which give us away, especially the muscles of the eyes. There are some involuntary muscles in the eyes which refuse to play up. They give us away, you know. So that is why big investigators or real estate negotiators, they wear dark glasses so that they won't see it. Now, I would like to give you two narrations before I end my session. One is to show you how the emotional expression of one man changed the emotional expressions of an entire group of people in a positive manner. And the other one is how the expression of negative emotions in one individual changed that individual into a positive being. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to get to you. Controlling your emotions and using it, expressing it to your advantage can make you a better individual, a better citizen to make a better world. So the first narration, it happened in 2014 in the United States of America, when I had the opportunity to visit the UN. I was invited to the UN to talk about alleviation of poverty on the global level. Now, we had just 4 days in the New York, and New York being a bustling city, the apple of it's known as the Big Apple. We wanted to check it out. So one evening after the meetings and all got over, my companion and myself, my colleague and myself, we hopped into a cross-town bus to check out the city. The weather was horrible. It was raining and raining, but we had no choice. So we found seats and we sat in the bus. But the people getting onto the bus after work, they were tired and feeling very uncomfortable. Tempers were not at their best. In fact, 2 people were arguing about a shove that was probably accidental. But who had the patience that day? Because it was raining, they had the Macintoshes closed and briefcases, just wanting to get home. That's when the driver's voice boomed on the intercom. "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The weather is horrible. I know y'all are tired and just want to go home. I've never seen such rains in recent years. As for the traffic, my bus is scarcely moving. There is nothing I can do about the weather or the traffic jam. But yes, there is something I can do. When each of you get off my bus, you will find me with my right hand extended. And I want you to put your palms in my palm, mimicking that you're putting your frustrations and your problems in my palm. My bus route takes me along the Hudson River. And I promise you that when I reach there, I will open this window of mine and throw out all your problems. No point in taking it home, is there? You should have seen the change in the atmosphere in the bus. People who are not even looking at each other started smiling at each other, started acknowledging one another, as though, did that man really mean what he said? But true to his word, all of them put their hands in his hand and walked out of the bus. Even I did so. So you see how one man expressing his emotion in a positive manner made the negative emotion expressed in a positive manner in the whole bus. Then why are you and I waiting for? Why can't we go out and spread happiness, a positive emotion? We should be doing that more and more. That is my first narration. The second narration is more at home. I'm going to talk to you about a 67-year-old lady. No, I wouldn't call her old. I would call her a young lady because she's got so much of pep and vigor in her. Because we always tease her that when she dies, she'll jump into her grave with wine glass in one hand and chocolate in the other hand, saying, what a lovely coaster ride I had. Well, this lady, she has 2 kids and she's been to the hospital only for the delivery of her 2 kids. She's not been on any strong medicine all these years. And she's living all by herself in a house, not out of choice, but due to circumstances. So, on March 6th, like an active citizen, she went and got her first shot of Covishield vaccine against this pandemic. Everything was fine. But 14 days later, while she was sitting at a table writing, she felt unduly tired. Very tired. No headache, no stomachache, no vomiting, nothing, just tired. So then she put it down to overwork and she went to bed. But next morning, she was even more tired. Again, she said she might sleep it off and she'll get over it. But the third day was horrible. She found by midday, her lips were going down. Her speech was slurred. Her right arm wouldn't lift up. She couldn't get out of bed. She was going, She was scared. What's happening to me? Her rational mind told her that she was going in for a stroke that can happen to anyone at any time. But her irrational mind denied it. Foolish of her, case of self-denial. Anyway, the neighbors were called in and she was rushed to the hospital where it was confirmed that she had a stroke and she was paralyzed on the right side. Like a sacrificed lamb, she heard the doctor's voice. You have got a stroke and you're paralyzed on the right side. Luckily, you won't die. But I'm afraid you may not get your motor skills back and you may not come back to your original life. There are others who are even in worse condition. She was devastated. She started drowning herself in self-pity. She said, will I be a vegetable all my life? Drowning in self-pity, she was driven back home to find her daughter and family at home, making plans for her future. That's when she made a decision, a strong decision, like decision she's made before. She said, I'm going nowhere. I'm going to live in this house of mine and lick my wounds in private. Her daughter was aghast. Mom, what's the matter with you? You can't even lift a spoon. What will you do? She stood her ground. She would not budge from her decision. Reluctantly crying, the daughter left home. This lady, she started challenging herself. Limping, she would get up from her bed, go to the kitchen, try to cook. The right hand would plop down. She would lift it with her left hand. The left hand and right hand would be singed, burned, painful, frustrating. The sad thing was finances were running low. She couldn't sign her signature. She couldn't write. Frustration, she would throw the pen. She would crumple sheets of paper and put in the waste basket. But she was not in the dumps for long. She limped to the stationery store, got 4-line copies, and started writing A, capital A, small a, cursive writing A. She continued every day till she completed 4 4-line copies. She would look in the mirror and say, "Hey, you're looking great, lady. You're doing better than yesterday." And she went and registered for law, LLB, and completed her first year law examination, all 5 papers. Isn't that remarkable? If you say it is remarkable, hands up. If you agree with me, I want all hands up in the reaction. Yes, very good. So it is remarkable because that lady, though she was so much in negativism, she expressed her emotions in a positive manner to do good for herself. And today, by the grace of God, I am happy to tell you that she's back to normal with all her skills back, and she's doing wonderfully well. And now I would like to share the screen once more with you. And I would like to show you that that lady was no one else but myself, JCI Senator Professor Nirmala. This happened in March, and by the grace of God, I am back to normal now. Thank you, God. Probably you have more karma for me. And that is all I have for my presentation today for you. Thank you. I hope I've opened the windows of emotions and how to manage it so that you become a better individual, a better citizen, and create a better world, like Michael Jackson says, a better world for you, for me, and the entire human race. Thank you. Over to the host. Thank you.
Nirmala ma'am, kekamo.
Kekam.
One second, and mobile mind adutunda mati.
ആർക്കെങ്കിലും എന്തെങ്കിലും ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കണമെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കാം.
എന്തെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാനുണ്ടോ ആർക്കെങ്കിലും? എല്ലാവരും സൈലന്റ് ആണ്. നിർമ്മല മാമിന്റെ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് കേട്ട് ഞെട്ടിന്ന് തോന്നുന്നുണ്ട് കേട്ടോ.
മനസ്സിലായോ?
മനസ്സിലായി.
Yes, ma'am. Wonderful.
Thank you. മനസ്സിലായില്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്കിത് വേണമെങ്കിൽ മലയാളത്തിൽ എടുക്കാം.
ഇല്ല മാം, എല്ലാവരും എഡ്യൂക്കേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആളുകൾ തന്നെയല്ലോ. കുഴപ്പമില്ല, മനസ്സിലായിട്ടുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ മാം ഭയങ്കര എന്താ പറയാ, നല്ല ഇതായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് അല്ലേ, എനിക്ക് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അതിനെന്താ പറയാ, യുഎനിലൊക്കെ പോയി ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കുന്നതാണല്ലേ നമ്മൾ പാവം മലയാളികള്. അത്രയ്ക്ക് അങ്ങോട്ട് ആയിട്ട് വിചാരിച്ചോളൂ.
അതെ,
മാമിന്റെ എക്സ്പ്രഷൻ തന്നെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കാം.
അതെ അതെ, മാം എല്ലാം പറയണത് ആ മുഖത്തുണ്ട്.
You are wonderful, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You, sir.
Thank you very much for the excellent presentation over here as to how emotions and how happiness colliding together will burst out into some kind of ecstasy, whereby the whole society can be turned to happiness, and the person who is the fountain for happiness is himself, and it is his attitude that makes the whole world and the whole circumstance and the whole surrounding happy. The bus driver who just told you just pass on to the happiness, all the difficulties and all the negative emotions on over to his hand is the greatest man who might felt the pinnacle of happiness, and he has for him a big salute. And you have been excellent enough to tell us how happiness can be just derived from any kind of opposite, or rather any kind of diversified situations also. And for that, hats off to you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Sri Kumar sir. Lovely. We are just guests on this planet Earth. About we can നമ്മൾ സന്തോഷം കൊടുത്താലേ നമുക്ക് സന്തോഷം കിട്ടുള്ളൂ. അപ്പൊ ദുഃഖത്തിനും കുറ്റം കാണുന്നതും ചീത്ത പറയണതിനും നേരം കൊടുത്തിട്ട് കാര്യമില്ല.
കൃത്യമായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞാലേ you can make a hell a heaven and a heaven a hell if you have got a mind. Exactly. So it is what matters is what you are. You must find that you are the fountain of happiness, and if you just give vent to your happiness, it just spreads. Like the rose flower that just gives out its fragrance for nobody. It is not for any particular person that it gives out the fragrance. It gives out the fragrance for all the people who may pass by. And those who want can just enjoy it, and those who do not want, of course, rose flower is least bothered about it all.
I know.
Likewise, you must be a fountain of happiness so that you will just start spreading it out, whereby you are the reason for the happiness, and you can make a hell a heaven and a heaven a hell if you have got that intention with you. Thank you very much.
Correct. Anybody else want to speak? ആരെങ്കിലും സംസാരിക്കേ? എന്നാലല്ലേ എനിക്ക് നിങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലായി എന്ന് മനസ്സിലാവുള്ളൂ.
നിർമ്മല മാം
പറയൂ.
ആർക്കും ഇനി ഒന്നും ചോദിക്കാനില്ലാന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. നമുക്ക് നന്ദി പറഞ്ഞ വൈൻഡപ്പ് ചെയ്താലോ?
ഓക്കെ, നോ പ്രോബ്ലം.
ഓക്കെ, നിർമ്മല മാമിനോട് ഞാൻ ഇന്നലെയാണ് സത്യത്തില് ഈ ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിനെ പറ്റി പറഞ്ഞത്. ഇത്രയും തിരക്കേറെ, ഒരുപാട് തിരക്കുള്ള സമയത്തും നിർമ്മല മാം ആ പ്രിപ്പയർ പോസിറ്റീവ് കമ്മ്യൂൺ ആ ചാപ്റ്ററിലെ മെമ്പറാണ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്റെ ചാപ്റ്റർ ആണെന്നുള്ള ആ ഒരു ഇത് ഉൾക്കൊണ്ടുകൊണ്ട് എനിക്ക് ഈ ഒരു വലിയൊരു സപ്പോർട്ടാണ് ഇന്ന് ചെയ്തു തന്നത്. ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ ദിവസത്തെ ഈ ക്ലാസ് നമുക്കിവിടെ അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് തന്നത്. എപ്പോഴും നമ്മൾ പറയില്ലേ, നിറകതിര് ഒരു കുനിഞ്ഞേ നിക്കുള്ളൂ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വിനയത്തോടെ നിക്കുള്ളൂ, ഒന്നുമില്ലാത്ത പതിരാണ് ഇങ്ങനെ ഭയങ്കര തല ഉയർത്തി ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഷോ കാണിച്ച് നിൽക്കാറ്. നിർമ്മല മാമിനെ എപ്പോഴും ആ മുഖത്ത് ചിരിക്കാതെ ഞാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ പറയൂ കുട്ടി എന്നുള്ള ഒരു വാക്കുകള് അത് കേൾക്കുമ്പോ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് റിഷ മാമിനെ ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഞാൻ വിളിക്കുമ്പോൾ റിഷ മാം പറയും ജസ്ന മാമിനെ ഹഗ് ചെയ്യാൻ തോന്നുന്നു. അതുപോലെ നിർമ്മല മാമിനെ നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെ അത്രയ്ക്കൊരു ഇഷ്ടം തോന്നുന്ന ഒരു ക്യാരക്ടറാണ്. ചിരിക്കാതെ കാണാറില്ല, അത്രയും എളിമയും വിനയമുള്ള ഒരു പെരുമാറ്റം, കാരണം ഇത്രയേറെ ഇത് കഴിവുകളുള്ള ഒരു വ്യക്തിയാണ്. ഒരുപാട് മേഖലകളിൽ കഴിവ് തെളിയിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു വ്യക്തിയാണ്. ഇവിടെ ഈ ട്രെയിനിങ് എടുക്കാൻ വന്നതിന് നിർമ്മല മാമിനോട് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല, അത്രയേറെ നന്ദിയുണ്ട് എനിക്ക്. അതുപോലെ മറ്റ് ചാപ്റ്ററുകളിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മുടെ ഇന്ന് 563ാമത്തെ ട്രെയിനിങ് ഡേ ആണ്. ഓൺലൈൻ ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിനെ കണ്ട് ഒരുപാട് മെമ്പേഴ്സ് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത് കൊഴിഞ്ഞ് അത്രയും ട്രെയിനിങ് ഒരു പാഷനായിട്ട് കണ്ടിട്ടുള്ള ആളുകളാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ സ്ഥിരമായിട്ട് ഇതുപോലുള്ള ട്രെയിനിങ്ങുകൾ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നല്ല ട്രെയിനറെ കാണുമ്പോൾ മാത്രം ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിലേക്ക് വരികയും ഒക്കെ ചെയ്യുന്നു. അപ്പൊ ഇന്ന് ഇവിടെ എത്തിച്ചേർന്നിട്ടുള്ള ഓരോ ആളുകൾക്കും ത്രിപ്രയർ ചാപ്റ്ററിന്റെ പേരിലും ഫൗണ്ടർ ചെയർമാൻ എന്ന പേരിലും ഞാൻ നന്ദി അറിയിച്ചുകൊള്ളുകയാണ്. നിർമ്മല മാമിന് ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി നന്ദി പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് ഇന്നത്തെ സെഷനുകളുടെ വൈൻഡ് എത്തിയാണ്. എല്ലാവർക്കും നന്ദി. താങ്ക് യു. നിർമ്മല മാം വൈൻഡ് അപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം കേട്ടോ.
ഓക്കെ.
താങ്ക് യു.
ഗുഡ് നൈറ്റ്.